we'll move on then to the next question, which is a written submission, so I'll read it out. It's a question of two parts in relation to the board's decision to exit its interest in Rosneft. The first part, this is from Mr. Tamerlan Gurbanov. Part one, why didn't you, as the head of BP, leave the Russian market in 2014 when there was an obvious annexation of Ukrainian territories, but did it at a time when Russia launched an anti-terrorist campaign to prevent the genocide of the Russian-speaking population of Ukraine? Thus, how did an independent global energy company put a company at risk by taking the side of the conflict? Mr. Gurbanov goes on to say, let me remind you that similar actions were taken by the US in the Balkans, Iraq and Afghanistan, but it seems, he says, that BP is not going to leave the US market. The second part to Mr. Gurbanov's question is, what are you doing and how are you working to recover the loss of $20 billion that was lost only in the last 2 months due to your rash actions, instead of bringing in excess profit of $20 billion or more, and how will this affect dividends over the next quarter? I think on that question, Bernard, if you'd like to take that, please.
Very happy to. Tamerlan, thank you. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your questions. Just a couple of things I would say. Looking back, I think it's fair to say that I think none of us, very few of us, none of us envisaged a war on this continent in 2022. That's the first thing that I would say. And the second thing that I would say that is distinctive about what we're seeing today is I think there's almost universal outrage at what is happening in Ukraine today. And that is why, within 96 hours of the invasion happening, we decided to exit Russia. And I think we were the first company, actually, to do that. We acted very quickly. We acted as a board, led by Helga, to do that. We felt that was the right thing to do, and we felt that was the right thing for change to our distribution policy, which includes dividends, to your question. In terms of what are we doing, I think your question is what are we doing in terms of an exit process. I've been asked this question, as you might imagine, a lot, and I'll give you the same response, I hope you don't mind, that I give everybody, which is that we don't comment on ongoing commercial processes, and we won't be making an exception on this basis. But our job is focused on our people, first and foremost, and our focus is on running the company as best we can, making it perform, so that we can reward you, our shareholders, as best we can, and we can invest in the transition as best we can. And that's what we're trying to do.
Bernard, thank you very much. And again, Mr. Gurbanov, thank you for your question. We're going to move on to the next question. Before I do so, I might just, if I may, Helga, just remind everybody that the poll is still open. So please